Hey, what's going on, guys? OJ back here with another video, and today we're going to be talking about common myths in the UFC that a lot of fans seem to believe in for one reason or another. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that these myths are good or bad. I'm just simply pointing out the fact that they're not objectively true in the slightest, and I'm going to show you guys why they're not objectively true in the slightest. So, without wasting any more time, here are 5 common myths that a lot of fans of the UFC seem to believe in for one reason or another. So first on our list, we're going to talk about Justin Gaethje. Now, I'm not here to hate on Justin Gaethje because I know for a fact that he is an elite level striker. However, this misconception that Justin Gaethje is a highlight reel knockout artist, I just don't see it. All right? Don't get me wrong. Gaethje has the ability to TKO people, but it's not very common over the last couple of years. Yet for some reason, people still believe that Justin Gaethje is an elite level knockout artist, all right? And this was practically the inspiration to this video because while I was watching Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev 2 on YouTube, I happened to stumble upon the comment, fighting Gaethje twice and not getting knocked out is really impressive. Like, is it? Because Justin Gaethje, over the last 6 years, has had 2 TKOs. Alright? One of them was really good against Dustin Poirier, I'll give you that. But outside of that, he TKO'd Tony Ferguson and sent Tony Ferguson on that downward spiral that we know for him today. So, if you look at Justin Gaethje's career past the year of 2019, he hasn't really got that many TKOs. Alright? Like, I understand at one point he was just, like, running into people like Donald Cerrone, Eddie Alvarez, and all those guys. But Justin Gaethje, like, you could say he's a great striker, alright? You could say he's elite level. But to call him an elite level knockout artist, I just don't see it because, again, he has had 2 TKOs over the last 6 years. And that Dustin Poirier head kick, like, I'm not saying it was a fluke. I'm just saying it's kind of a surprise from Justin Gaethje because we typically don't see that type of shot selection, picture perfect shot selection to be specific, out of Justin Gaethje's game. So I don't think Justin Gaethje is a knockout artist, but for some reason, a lot of people believe that he is. Alright, now moving on, we got Song Yadong, and I put Song Yadong here for the exact same reasons as Justin Gaethje, but to a lesser extent. A lot of people still believe that Song Yadong is an elite level knockout artist. Now, don't get me wrong, Song Yadong is really good. Alright, I think he's top 5 level in the bantamweight division, and he's one of the best strikers in the bantamweight division currently. However, I don't think of Song Yadong as this elite level knockout artist. Alright, he got a knockout over Ricky Simon in the 5th round, which was actually really good. But outside of that, who'd he knock out? Marlon Moraes. Like, it's Marlon Moraes and Julio Arce. I don't see Song Yadong as this elite level knockout artist, alright? And I'm not saying this to discredit his skills in any sort of way, but the way that a lot of people talk about him is like, oh, he has the puncher's chance. It's like, not really. I mean, like, he was going tit for tat with Henry Cejudo, and he was also going tit for tat with, Petr Yan early on in the fight. I understand that those guys are really hard to knock out, but, like, still, though, this misconception that Song Yadong is this puncher's chance type of fighter, it's like, I don't really see it. So, although Song Yadong is elite level, and he does have some power in his hands, I don't consider Song Yadong as one of the best knockout artists in the UFC, like a lot of hardcore fans claim him to be. Alright, now this next one, we got Sean O'Malley. I understand that Sean O'Malley got a lot of Dana White privilege, but can we all admit that Sean O'Malley is elite level? Alright? Like, sure, he lost to Merab twice, and he definitely didn't deserve that second title shot, to say the least, but a lot of hardcore fans try to paint Sean O'Malley as this Dana White's golden goose. Right, the only reason he's able to get to the top was because Dana White gave him a picture-perfect scenario, when in reality, I think Sean O'Malley even without that, he still could have had a chance to get to the belt, all right? I'm not saying that Sean O'Malley is like the best fighter in the division by far, but a lot of people just treat him like Bo Nickel or someone like that. When Sean O'Malley, he has put in a lot of work, all right? Sure, he lost to Marab twice, and the Pilter Yan fight was arguably a robbery, but he beat Aljamain Sterling with a broken rib. And he schooled Chito Vera. And you can say, oh, it's Chito Vera. Everybody does that to him. Does everybody 50-44 Chito Vera, though? I don't think so. All right? So the fact that Sean O'Malley was able to make Chito Vera look like a complete punching bag, I think it proves that O'Malley is top 5 caliber. And the fact that a lot of people to this day are still discrediting O'Malley just because he is an industry plant, I think it's a little bit unfair for Sean O'Malley, and I still think that Sean O'Malley is one of the best fighters in the division. Now, this next one may come off as a little bit controversial, but I don't think Magomed Ankalaev is as boring as people say, alright? Now, don't get me wrong, Ankalaev has had some stinkers, alright? The first Pereira fight, complete stinker. The fight with Rakic, complete stinker. Like, a lot of people, I understand why they don't like Magomed Ankalaev's performances if they just watch those two fights. But if you watch a lot of Magomed Ankalaev's fights, then overall, I'm going to say he's not that bad. All right? And I'm not here to say that, oh, he's the greatest thing ever, like Kenny Okoye and MMA Joey over here. But a lot of people kind of misconstrued the fact that he's a boring crotch sniffer, when in reality, he is a solid striker. All right? He's knocked out Johnny Walker. He gets fun fights against high-level strikers like Volkan Oezdemir, right? And even the Jan Blachowicz fight, I thought that was reasonably high-paced. So the fact that a lot of people still believe that Magomed Ankalaev is this boring crotch sniffer like Movsar Evloev, I just don't see it, all right? It's not like Movsar Evloev where he's just barely doing enough to neutralize your offense and being able to control you on top in order to win 3 rounds by decision. Magomed Ankalaev, he tries to push a reasonable pace. He's just not very good at it because he prefers to fight on the back foot. But the fact that a lot of people still think of him as like a boring wrestler, I just don't understand why that's the case, but that's a lot of MMA fans over here in 2026. Last but not least, we got to talk about Kevin Holland. Oh, if Kevin Holland just locked in, he's going to be a top 5 contender. Like, no. Kevin Holland is not at that level. I don't understand why the UFC push him so hard onto the casual fans to make him prop up like a gatekeeper-ish star, when in reality, Kevin Holland is arguably one of the biggest industry plants in the UFC right now, because no other guy on the current roster can lose to Daniel Rodriguez and Mike Malott, all right, 2 unranked fighters at the time Kevin Holland fought them, and then somehow get a number 13 ranked Jeff Neal in his next fight. I don't understand how Kevin Holland keeps getting away with this, but Kevin Holland keeps getting away with this. And the fact that Kevin Holland is still being hard pushed onto the fans by the UFC, it just makes me kind of suspicious, to say the least, because I don't understand why the UFC believes that Kevin Holland is this superstar. All right, like, sure, he's active, but half the time, he's just kind of coping over the fact that he's losing fights. So he just kind of goes out there and pretends that he doesn't try. And then the commentary team's going like, oh, if Kevin Holland just locks in here, he could have a chance. Like, no. He's just not at that level. And the fact that a lot of people to this day still believe that Kevin Holland is this elite level gatekeeper within like the top 10 to 15 of the welterweight division, I just don't see it. Like, at best, Kevin Holland is a ranked fighter, but at the very bottom of the rankings. And I consider Kevin Holland at this point a top 20 to 25 welterweight on the UFC roster in 2026. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to like and subscribe so we can monetize this channel. But otherwise, leave any video suggestions for me in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.